So, here's a big question for you. Can a machine truly understand a poet? I mean, can an algorithm actually capture the soul of great literature and not just, the words on the page? It's one of the biggest questions facing AI today, and we're about to put it to the test. We're starting with one of the most powerful lines in all of English poetry, from W.B. Yeats' The Second Coming. Just take a second and really listen to that. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. It's not just the meaning, right? It's the rhythm, the sheer weight of it, that feeling of dread he packs into just 8 simple words. And that is our challenge. I mean, sure, it's one thing for an AI to translate a simple sentence, but can it capture the prophetic fire, the mythic terror, and the complex music of a poem like this? That's the core question we're really digging into here. Okay, let's get into it. For this challenge, we've got 2 AI heavyweights stepping into the ring, ChatGPT and Gemini. And their task? A big one. They've got to translate Yeats's masterpiece into Hindi, a language with its own incredibly rich and complex literary traditions, so no pressure. And what's amazing is that right away, with the very first line, we see a fascinating difference. ChatGPT gives us a translation that's pretty smooth, very direct. But Gemini's, well, it's a little different, maybe a bit more dramatic. Even in this one line, you can already sense 2 very different approaches at play. So, let's break this down systematically. Round 1 is all about the sound, the music of the poem. Because with a poet like Yeats, how the words actually sound is just as important as what they mean. We're talking about something called prophetic cadence. Think of it this way. Yeats wasn't just writing words to be read silently from a page. No way. He was crafting an apocalyptic chant, a kind of sermon designed to be spoken aloud, to swell and build in the air around you. And this is where their core strategies really come to light. ChatGPT kind of rewrites the poem into smooth, modern verse. It's really easy to read, but that apocalyptic rhythm we were talking about, it's gone. Gemini, on the other hand, keeps Yeats's long, rolling sentences, preserving that sermon-like feel, even if it makes the lines a little heavier to get through. All right, so rhythm is one thing, but what about the specific words and their deeper meaning? Let's move on to round 2 and see how this builds, capturing the poem's mythic symbolism. This brings us to a really crucial concept, mythic diction. In a poem like The Second Coming, which is just packed with religious and historical imagery, every single word is chosen for its symbolic weight. These aren't just words, they are like little keys to a much deeper meaning. And here, we see a huge philosophical divide. ChatGPT chooses neutral, modern vocabulary. It essentially describes the apocalyptic vision to you. It explains it. Gemini does something else entirely. It preserves the mythic, prophetic words because it doesn't just want to describe the menace, it wants you to feel it. And just look at this incredible example from Gemini. This is its translation of what rough beast slouches towards Bethlehem. The language it uses for rough beast and that amazing verb slouches isn't just a literal translation. It is absolutely dripping with menace in this heavy theological weight. It just captures the feeling of the original line. Okay, on to our final round. We've looked at the music and the meaning. Now let's talk about the overall vibe, the cultural atmosphere of the translation. Let's talk about its aura. So, what do we mean by cultural aura? It's the overall feeling the text creates. Does it feel like you're reading an ancient sacred prophecy, something almost out of the Bible? Or does it feel more like a modern commentary on a political disaster? That tone is absolutely critical. And this is where the 2 AIs make their final defining choices. ChatGPT basically neutralizes the poem's Christian roots. Its translation feels like a modern, secular poem about disaster. Gemini, though, leans into the original's tone. It deliberately uses an elevated sermon-like style, making the translation sound sacred and consciously foreign, just like a 100-year-old Christian prophecy probably should. So, after putting these 2 AIs through 3 pretty intense rounds of literary analysis, what's the big takeaway here? What did we learn? Well, let's look at the final scorecard. When it comes to capturing the poem's soul, that prophetic cadence, the mythic symbolism, and the sacred cultural aura, Gemini is the clear winner. But, and this is a really important but, ChatGPT wins on pure readability. It created a simpler, much more accessible poem.
Ultimately, what we're looking at isn't just two different translations, it's two fundamentally different philosophies. ChatGPT acts like a teacher. Its goal is to explain and make the complex understandable. Gemini, on the other hand, acts like an artist. Its goal is to make you feel the original's power, its mystery, and all its strangeness.
And this leaves us with the ultimate question as we move forward with this technology. When we hand our greatest works of art over to an AI, what do we really want in return? Do we want a clear explanation, or do we want an evocative experience? A teacher or an artist? It really makes you wonder, what do we truly want AI to be?